Hi YouTubers, down at the Talbot Express, and on previous videos I've replaced the engine mounts and I'm just putting some of this back together, and I've cleaned up the air intake here, which attaches to here like that, but I'm going to put a bit of sealant on it because I originally had a gasket seal, and it draws the air in behind here through like in front of the radiator, but this is to protect any water from getting into the engine, so I'm going to make sure this is sealed. I talked about some welding work that was done down there, and I've put some under seal on it because it wasn't protected, and I just sprayed it with some old white paint, which is an anti-rust paint as well. And that's still a bit wet, but I'm going to put this plastic in now, and I'm just going to put some silicone around here, around there and there, just a small piece, and stop any moisture getting in and down into the air filter. It's not the easiest thing to get back in, and I'm just concerned I haven't knocked any wires or anything like that in the process, or disturbed anything too much. Got new hose clips on, and the air filter's been changed. I didn't change it, it was changed when it went in for service, and it don't really need replacing again. And just going around it, checking these horrible hose clips there. Going to take them off and replace them with new ones as much as possible, and then I should be in a position to start it and see if it all runs. I've got to get the spare wheel bracket back in, which is only a couple of bolts, and I made this here a while back because very simply that's to stop your fingers touching the belts underneath, and the plastic was all broken. So I've put two metal plates in with bolts. It all seems to be going back, touch wood so far. Well, the air filter's back in, spare wheel carrier's back in, new hose clips. What I do as well here, I don't know if you can see, I've got a strap up to here, and it's just in case these break that this don't hit the belts underneath. It's a bit crude, it's just an extra support. And I think I'm pretty much there in the engine compartment. I'm going to give you a tour of the Talbot Express 91-92 year, and done quite a few modifications to the van interior. But we'll start off with simple things. Let's look at the dashboard. Now, the dashboard are very basic in these vans, very dated. This motorhome of mine is done at 80,081 miles in its lifetime, and I'll just show you around, you know, most of the controls, the air vents. What I've done, I've put some coloured paint on ones because it's difficult to know which lever's which. You know, like the yellow one for switching it on and off is there, and that's the vent the air comes out of, and the brown one switched off there, and the brown one there. This bit gets confusing. Anyway, I removed the car radio. Very simply, the engine is very noisy, and I'll put a clip of the engine starting and the noise it makes now. Okay, we're going to start the beast. This is why I can't hear the sat nav. And this is the noise. Understand why I can't hear the sat nav, and this is just tick over. So we've done that, and what I've got here, this is a reversing camera with a front facing camera and a rear camera, and I don't know whether I can demonstrate it. Yeah, that's the front camera on and off. Okay, now here where the car radio was, oh god, it's so bright, the sun's just come up. I've got a curtain, I don't know whether that's helping, but there's two battery indicators I've fitted where the car radio was. Oh, the sun's going in a bit now. And the left hand one is for the engine battery, and the right hand one is for the leisure battery. And that's showing the engine battery at 12.9 and the leisure battery at 12.7 roughly. Now you can see it. Yeah, you probably just about be able to see it. It's a very useful bit of kit. The other thing I've got fitted in here is I've got a bypass switch which allows the solar panels to charge the engine battery and also the leisure battery depending on where the switch is. It also allows the leisure battery to boost the engine battery in emergencies for starting if the engine battery is a bit low. So it's fairly straightforward there. There's no real modifications to do with the dashboard. I've fitted some LED spotlights and there's a switch just there. It has got a tracker fitted, that's hidden in the bodywork. I'm not saying where. And while I'm at the front, I'll just talk about the interior lights. I've got an interior light there. I've fitted LED next to the normal one and one the other side, and these run from the leisure battery but can be switched to the engine battery if we get stuck of lighting and things like that. Leisure battery is mounted under the driver's seat. It's 100 ampere hour. Now looking back at the van, there's some more LED lights. I took the original ones out, put LEDs there and LEDs there on both sides of the van. I've also changed, this is a mains operated LED lamp, and this is again, this is a task light 12 volt lamp here, so if you're reading you can use that. And another 12 volt task light there on the other side of the van with the aerial amplifier. We don't use a TV and we don't bother. Now then, it's fitted with a diesel heater behind the driver's seat. The outlet is there. It's a Chinese diesel heater. We actually run it on paraffin, and there's the video of me fitting it, so if you want to watch that. The paraffin tank is in the side wall behind the driver. It's a 5 litre tank, which is completely adequate for what we need. The passenger side is where the gas bottle, I think it's a 4.7 kilogram gas bottle situated in here. This compartment is for shoes. This one that folds out, if you know the van, this folds out. That's for extra food because there's only 2 of us. This side under is for cleaning materials and additional food to go in there as well, tin food. Now originally the van had in here, this used to slide out, and it was for wine bottles and wine glasses, and it was a total waste of time. So I cut up the bit that slides out, and I've made this shelf where we keep coffee and can put tea and drinks on here. I've made the front so it removes like this, and the pull-out shelves were actually bolted to the back of this, so I've made it so it comes out completely. And I don't know whether you can see in here there is room for 2 picnic chairs. So that space, which was a waste of space, is now being used. I've also got a drawer I made. This is part of the original wine sort of cabinet, and I made this drawer from the leftovers of the wood, which works perfectly fine. And they say they've got 2 picnic chairs in there which slide in and out, and you don't even know they're there. Put that away. Okay, going back to the kitchen area, which is here, and there's an oven, a grill, 2 burners, and I put some checker plate on here for heat to put the pots on and to stop fat splashes. Here, just lift the top. Put that clip up there a minute. It's not a proper clip. And there's the 2 burners. But what Jane found out, or when I found out when we're cooking, there's not enough space here for preparing food. So I made this small table, and it hinges up like this. Okay, with these pieces of wood underneath, and that gives a lot more space. If somebody's sitting here, it's a problem, but to be honest, there's only 2 of us, so it's fine. And it just clips down. If I can show you that, to push one in, one of these woods, and then the other one falls in, and then it out of the way. In the bottom drawers, pots and pans, cutlery, and scissors and stuff like that in there. Shut that up. I've put extra sockets in down there, and that's for running a small electric fan heater when we've got electric hookup. Moving across the van, back over this side, I've got the diesel heater control panel sitting there. There's a few other bits and pieces. Now we have a gas fire. So in terms of heating, we've got a gas fire, which is probably working. We've got the diesel heater, which we run from paraffin or diesel if we want. We've also got electric small fan heater, which we can plug in here to heat the van when we're on hookup. We've got a wardrobe, which is quite roomy. Next to the wardrobe is the fridge and the sink and drainer. Then there's cupboards to put cups in and odds and ends. More space. The fridge. Opposite the fridge, to make sure the camera is recording, we have the shower area. Okay, this is the shower area and toilet. There's no waste tank on this van, so we have a waste tank there, which we lift out to put under the van to catch the waste. We've got an electric porta potty, which is electric flush. Got storage up here for toilet rolls and hair shampoo, things like that. 2 towel rails, one there, and then we have a heated towel rail, because we don't use this as a shower room. We tend to stop on a lot of sites, so we use the shower block. But we've got a heated towel rail which takes 45 watts, and it's hinged so it can swing across. We can have a shower in the summer if we want. I've blanked it off here, but I can remove that, and I've got a length of hose pipe which I can put out the back, and we can shower out the back. Best thing I ever did was fitted this towel rail in this van, especially in the winter, because this is like a wet room now. We can hang our wet clothes in, open the vent, put the towel rail on, and it will dry the clothes. Bearing in mind this is only for electric hookup. The toilet area also opens up with this, so you've got a complete wash area next to the wardrobe where you can use the sink, and you can, I'll step back a bit to try not to fall out of the van. It gives you quite a lot of room here. I'll just shut this again. It just hinges across like this and across the toilet area. Fire extinguisher, fire blanket, carbon monoxide, smoke alarm, the standard control panel. This shelf at the back is quite useful to plug in your phones if you want to charge them into that socket there. It's got an extractor fan above the cooker, as standard. Now then, originally, to do with the bedding, I don't think it's coming out on camera, this area here, they didn't have these pieces of wood on, and it's rails, and there was boards up here which slid out to form a bed for children. But it has a weight limit of 65 kilograms, so it's blooming useless, to be honest. So we done away with the boards that slid out. I put these pieces of wood up, which makes it like bookshelves, and we can put all sorts of odds and sods in, and we can put the bed in up there out the way, and it's a lot of storage. And I've also got these boards if you get stuck in the mud, the plastic ones though, and I keep those laid flat up here. On the right hand side we have, there's a lot of stuff in the way at the moment, apologies. There's the solar panel controller, and that's a split charger circuit I built myself to charge both the engine battery and the leisure battery, and switches over all sorts of bits of kit, you know, like the lights if you want to run them from the engine battery or the leisure battery. I think that's about it. Useful things we've got is we've got these magnetic hooks we bought, and because this van is steel sided, it's ideal for hanging your washing on the outside of the van. And also, I was talking about an outside shower with a hose. I'll just show you what I'm referring to. Let's get out. With the back door open, both of them, like that, we can use these magnets to different places on the van to attach the shower curtain across the back doors, because it's steel, so you can put one on there and one on the other side, and this is the shower area for outdoors. I'll just show you where the diesel heater comes out. The diesel heater exhaust is right there next to the original exhaust, and the paraffin tank, diesel tank, sits in here. And I think that's a tour of the van. Jumping back to the solar panels, there's two solar panels on the roof. I think the maximum is about 65 watts, but it's enough because we haven't got anything in the van that consumes a lot of electricity. This is just showing the bed area, and basically the passenger front seat is there and it folds down, and the driver's is here. This is actually the steering wheel, and this makes two lovely single beds like that. So you can make two single beds like that, and then if the tables are put down in the middle on these runners, you put two tabletops down, and that makes a double bed, and it can be a double bed where you sleep widthways across the van or lengthways, and with the additional of a buffer cushion in the middle here. You can imagine where my rucksack is at the moment. You can imagine that this is a double bed, a king size. It goes all the way up to, you can just see the gear stick just there underneath there where it comes through the floor of the van. So all this area here is the bedding area up to here, and you can see we've got it set up as 2 singles. When we're not got the beds down, we use the top children's bunk, which really is not brilliant, and we just use that to put our bedding up there. This is what the bed area looks like when it's laid down, and what we do when we wake up in the morning, we roll the covers back and open up the curtains and let them air, or the duvets I should say, and then when we're ready to drive, we take these blue covers off and put the seats up. And it's easy to see how the van is organised in sleeping when the covers are like this. So I hope you can work out how it all goes together. It's quite simple really, but I thought I'd give you another view of how it is. And if you're sleeping on the driver's side, you can imagine if you're a very tall person, your feet would be under the steering wheel. But obviously if you're this side, then there's nothing, you know, right up to what I call the glove compartment, which is right up here. There's plenty of room, and you can imagine it's quite a big bed, and it comes right up to here. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and it's a bit short and sweet, but at least gives you a tour of the van. I will talk about the tables actually when I remember it. There's 2 tables which forms the bed, which I've talked about in a previous snippet. We keep a water container here as a backup, although it's got a big water tank underneath, fresh water tank, but it doesn't have a wastewater tank. And it's a 2.5 litre diesel engine, non-turbo, and the van's showing its age in places. I intend to do some body work on it, and whether I'll get it resprayed I don't know. But thanks again, hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like.